3 months back, the Sixers looked finished, barely escaping the first round in 7 games. Then the Knicks humiliated them in round 2, leaving Philadelphia to watch a season built on high hopes end in a brutal 4-game sweep. The offense fell apart, their defense got shredded, and by the end of that series, Philadelphia did not look like a contender that was just one player away. They looked like a roster that needed to tear down the foundation. So they did. They fired Daryl Morey. They shipped away Paul George and 4 draft picks for Jaylen Brown, then brought in Anfernee Simons. They grabbed Dean Wade and added reliable depth around the edges. Now, they just pulled off the biggest move of the entire summer. Because LeBron James is officially a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. Not Cleveland, not Miami, not Golden State. Philly. The 41-year-old 4-time champion is reportedly signing a 2-year, $8 million deal. He is set to spend what might be the final chapter of his career, sharing the floor with Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, and Joel Embiid. Just like that, a roster that looked dead 2 months ago suddenly boasts the most talented starting 5 in the sport. On paper, it sounds absurd. Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, Joel Embiid. That is not a lineup some kid put together playing 2K. That is apparently the real Philadelphia 76ers roster. Depending on who you ask, this is either the single best offseason any franchise has pulled off in years, or the most expensive, injury-prone house of cards in basketball. So, we are breaking down all of it, why LeBron chose Philly, and how this new lineup is actually supposed to work. We will look at what his arrival means for Maxey and Embiid, and whether these new-look 76ers are finally ready to finish the process. Let us start with the transaction that shook the NBA to its core, because the first question on everyone's mind is pretty simple. Does signing a 41-year-old LeBron James actually make these 76ers immediate title favorites? Honestly, it just might. At first glance, the red flags are obvious. LeBron is entering his 24th NBA season. There are guys on this Philadelphia roster who were not even alive when he was drafted. He turns 42 in December. He has logged more court time than anyone in the history of the sport. No matter how well he preserves his body, father time eventually collects from everyone, even LeBron. Last season, you could see the beginning of it. He was not attacking the rim with that raw power every night, and he could no longer take over defensively whenever he felt like it. There were long stretches where the Lakers needed him to pace himself, especially with Luka Doncic handling more of the heavy lifting. But here is the thing about talking about LeBron like he is just a normal 41-year-old. He still averaged 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds, all while shooting over 50% from the field at 41. Most players that age are signing ceremonial one-day deals just to retire with their original team. LeBron was still one of the best playmakers in basketball. He was still forcing mismatches in transition, and he was still controlling games with his vision. When the heavy moments called for it, he could still turn back the clock and look like the most powerful athlete on the floor. Philadelphia does not need LeBron to be the best player on earth anymore. They do not even need him to lead them in scoring. That is the whole point. For most of his career, signing LeBron meant handing him the entire offense, surrounding him with spot-up shooters, and asking him to carry the roster as far as possible. This is different. This time, LeBron is joining a squad that already features a 28-point-per-game scorer in Tyrese Maxey, a reigning Finals MVP in Jaylen Brown, a former league MVP in Joel Embiid, and one of the brightest young two-way prospects in basketball in VJ Edgecombe. LeBron is not coming to Philadelphia to rescue this franchise on his own. He is coming to connect all the pieces that were already in place. And that is what makes this move so threatening. Before we even talk about the basketball fit, we have to talk money. 2 years, $8 million. That is the one detail of this deal that makes almost every argument against it vanish. LeBron pulled in over $50 million during his last year in Los Angeles. He easily could have demanded far more cash from some other contender. Instead, he accepted one of the largest pay cuts any superstar has ever agreed to, just to join a roster that was already loaded. Philadelphia did not sacrifice a star. They are bringing in LeBron James for the cost of a rotation player. Even if he gives them only 60 games and 25 minutes a night, that small contract is a steal. And if he produces anything close to his output from last season, it is pure robbery. Plus, that second year gives both sides real flexibility. If LeBron wants one final run after this season, the option is there. If this ends up being his farewell tour, then Philadelphia gets 2 clean shots to win a title alongside him. And if his body finally gives out, the 76ers are not stuck paying him max contract money deep into the future. For LeBron, this contract reveals exactly why he made this decision. He wasn't just trying to squeeze every last dollar out of his career. It wasn't about heading back to Cleveland for some storybook ending. Joining Steph Curry for one last super team experiment was never the plan. This was about winning. Philadelphia laid out the strongest basketball case, and LeBron apparently bought into it. That is probably the highest praise this Sixers roster could get, given how LeBron has spent his entire career studying team construction. He knows which rosters are actually built to win. He knows which stars fit together. With the end near, he wasn't about to waste one of his final seasons on a team that only looked good in theory. He looked at Maxey, Brown, Embiid, Edgecombe, and the Eastern Conference, deciding this was his best shot at ring number 5. Now Philly has to prove him right. The wild thing is, LeBron wasn't even their first major move this summer. Just a few months back, this franchise was still stuck in the Paul George situation. PG was supposed to be their final piece, the two-way wing who would ease the defensive and offensive load on Maxey and Embiid, giving Philadelphia that reliable third star they had been chasing for years. Instead, the whole plan dissolved. George averaged just 16.7 points during his 2 years there. His first year was derailed by knee and adductor injuries. His second featured more knee trouble and a 25-game suspension. By the time the Knicks finished sweeping Philadelphia, it was clear this marriage had run its course. Then, new team president Mike Gansey pulled off a deal almost nobody thought was possible. He packaged George, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-rounders, shipping them to Boston for Jaylen Brown. Boston actually traded a 5-time All-Star and former Finals MVP directly to one of their biggest rivals. Philadelphia replaced an aging, unreliable perimeter wing with a 29-year-old who just posted career highs of 28.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 5.1 assists. Jaylen Brown spent 10 seasons winning in Boston. He fought through multiple conference finals. He had already secured a championship ring, and unlike George, he was still smack in the middle of his prime. That single trade fundamentally redefined Philadelphia's ceiling. Jaylen Brown brought them a physical perimeter defender, a real downhill threat, and a guy who proved he could be the second-best piece on a championship squad. Then they signed Anfernee Simons to a 2-year contract. Simons instantly gives them some extra scoring punch off the bench. After averaging 14.3 points, while shooting the ball quite efficiently from deep last season. They added Dean Wade to provide some size and perimeter shooting up front. Then they drafted a major steal in LeBron James. Young talent like Justin Edwards, Adam Bona, and Jaden Ivey stayed put. Then LeBron arrived to complete the puzzle. Just 2 months ago, the Sixers' future looked tied to an aging Embiid, that disappointing George contract, and another second-round exit. Now their core features Maxey, Brown, LeBron, Embiid, and Edgecombe, backed by one of the deepest guard rotations in the entire East. So how does this actually work on the floor? The most logical starting unit puts Tyrese Maxey at point guard, VJ Edgecombe at shooting guard, Jaylen Brown at small forward, LeBron at power forward, and Joel Embiid at center. On paper, the talent is ridiculous. Last season, Maxey put up 28 points and 6 assists. Jaylen Brown averaged 28, 7, and 5. LeBron still gave you 21, 7, and 6. Joel Embiid still dropped 27 and 7. And VJ Edgecombe chipped in 16, 5, and 4 as a rookie. That gives you 5 starters who can all put the ball on the floor, 4 who can generate their own shot, 3 who have averaged 28 in a season, and 2 former league MVPs. But raw talent was never Philly's only issue. They have had loaded rosters before. Embiid has shared the court with Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, James Harden, and Paul George. The names cycle through, but the ending remains the same. So this is not about running up the score in November. Obviously, they can do that. The real test is whether these pieces fit when the half-court game slows down, rotations shrink, and every single flaw gets exposed come May. It all starts with how they use LeBron. But first, a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. The World Cup has wrapped up, leaving us in that quiet summer stretch when there isn't much going on in the sports world. Because of that, I shifted my focus to some season-long NFL projections that really caught my eye. For my slip, I picked Jackson Smith and Jigba to go over 1,324.5 receiving yards, Ashton Jeanty to go over 995.5 rushing yards, and Matthew Stafford to go over 3,925.5 passing yards this season. JSN stands out as one of the most promising young targets in football. Even though he lost his offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, the influence the reigning Offensive Player of the Year will have on the Seahawks should still be huge, particularly with Kenneth Walker gone. I expect JSN to easily clear that mark. And speaking of Kingsbury, his new gig as head coach of the revamped Las Vegas Raiders front line, paired with top rookie quarterback Fernando Mendoza, makes me believe that Ashton Jeanty could easily clear 1,000 rushing yards this season. And then there is Matthew Stafford, still playing as one of the premier pocket passers in football, defying age year after year. I am backing the veteran Matthew Stafford to deliver until the wheels fall off. Surrounded by one of the most explosive offenses in the league, I expect Stafford to easily surpass his projected season passing yardage total. This specific lineup gives you a shot at a 3 times payout as a flex play or 6 times your money as a power play. I went ahead and locked mine in as a power play. Track my moves on the app at Hoop Dungeon, tailing my cards with one tap while watching your friends' plays too. Prize Picks is running in the majority of states, including heavyweights like California, Texas, and Florida, meaning you can probably jump right into the action. Best of all, they just updated their welcome offer, making this the perfect moment to get started. Just download the Prize Picks app and enter promo code HMA during sign-up. Then place at least $5 on your initial lineup. If that first card hits, you get $150 back in bonus lineups. You heard that right. Put down $5 on your first run and pocket $150 extra if you win. Any 2-pick power play or 3-pick flex play qualifies for this promo, and that includes any cards built around those Green Goblins. Go lock this in and secure that first win. Use PrizePicks code HMA and grab the app through the link down in the description. Last season, Philadelphia struggled to share the ball, ranking near the bottom in assists. Scorers were not the issue. What they lacked was a floor general to keep things organized. Maxey is an incredible offensive weapon, but his greatest weapon remains his pure speed. He wants to slash through gaps, fly off screens, and burn opposing defenses before they can get set. Forcing him to run every play, read every defensive coverage, and generate every late clock bucket takes away from his natural strengths. Edgecombe can pass, but he was just a rookie learning how to direct a standard NBA offense. Embiid draws double teams, but asking a big man with his injury history to initiate plays from the high elbow just is not sustainable. Brown can create his own shot, but he has never been a true point forward. That is exactly where LeBron changes the equation. Philadelphia ended up 29th in assists last year, averaging only 24.6 per game. LeBron put up 7.2 assists, all on his own. He gives Philadelphia a floor leader who reads defensive rotations before they even develop. He is someone who can deliver an entry pass to Embiid exactly where he needs it. A playmaker who can push transition off a rebound, letting Maxey run downhill instead of forcing him to walk it up. A veteran presence who can exploit mismatches on switches, direct defensive schemes, and settle things down when the game gets chaotic. For the first time in forever, the Sixers will not have to pick between running the offense through their guard or their center. LeBron bridges that gap. Just picture him hauling in a defensive board while Maxey and Edgecombe are already flying down the court. You have Brown cutting hard from the weak side, and Embiid trailing to set a quick drag screen. Opponents must stop the ball, protect the basket, account for two lightning-fast guards, stick close to Brown, and somehow prevent Embiid from getting a clean look at an open jumper. It is a pure nightmare. And once they settle into the half-court, the choices for defenders get even uglier. LeBron and Embiid can run their two-man game. Maxey can wrap around screens on the weak side. Brown can slash against a shifting defense. Edgecombe can slip behind defenders, who lose focus for a second. You cannot afford to leave a single player open on this floor, and there is no easy matchup for smaller guards. If opponents decide to switch every screen, LeBron and Embiid are going to punish those mismatches down low all night long. On offense, the upside is clear. The real question is what Philadelphia has to give up to reach it. Spacing stands out as the primary concern. They have decent shooters, but not necessarily a lineup where defenses are afraid to leave their assignments to help. Maxey has evolved into a high-volume threat from deep. Brown can make teams pay if they leave him alone. LeBron is reliable on open looks, especially when he has fresh legs. Embiid can step out and knock down deep jumpers. Edgecombe shot 35.4% from three as a rookie, but none of Brown, LeBron, Edgecombe, or Embiid is the type of threat that defenders will chase 30 feet out on every single possession. Last year, Philadelphia shot just 34.9% from beyond the arc as a squad, placing them near the very bottom of the league. During the regular season, their raw talent can mask those flaws. But in the playoffs, opponents will test them, helping off Edgecombe until he proves he can make them pay. They are going to dare LeBron to shoot jumpers rather than drive to the rim. They will crowd Embiid's space down low and force Philly into making rapid-fire decisions. That means Nick Nurse has to get highly creative, because the Sixers cannot just park everyone around Embiid and wait for things to happen. LeBron has to set screens, Brown has to cut hard, and Maxey must stay active even after he moves the ball. Edgecombe needs to drive hard on closeouts instead of just standing in the corner. Luckily, LeBron has he spent his whole career solving these exact problems. He knows where to move, and he knows when to set a screen for a guard. He knows how to drag a defender out of the play without ever touching the ball. And since he isn't carrying the entire offense anymore, he might be more willing to do the dirty work this roster needs. Still, there are going to be nights where the floor feels cramped. There will be possessions where LeBron and Embiid both want to work from the exact same spot. There will be fourth quarters where Philly has 4 stars watching the ball, nobody cutting. And that is the difference between merely having talent and actually building a team. Nick Nurse's job is turning one into the other. But despite all the noise around this starting five, this all comes back to one thing: health. There is no mystery here. When these guys are on the floor, Philadelphia can beat anyone. The real challenge is making sure they are actually on the court together. LeBron is 41. Embiid's injury history has defined Philly's postseason runs for years. Brown is taking on another brutal workload after carrying Boston all of last season. Maxey has logged heavy minutes. The Sixers are building their championship aspirations around one of the oldest stars in league history, and a big man whose body repeatedly breaks down at the worst possible moment. That doesn't mean the blueprint is flawed. It just means the regular season has to look very different. Philly can't chase 60 wins like every night is a playoff game. LeBron shouldn't be playing 38 minutes in January. Embiid shouldn't have to carry the load on every random road trip. Brown shouldn't have to hold up the offense for months at a time. The entire point of building this roster is that nobody has to do it all. Nick Nurse has the depth to stagger his stars. LeBron can run bench-heavy units with Simmons. Maxey can pair up with Embiid. Brown can command smaller lineups. Edgecombe can get more offensive touches whenever a veteran takes a night off. Philly's goal shouldn't be winning every single game. The goal is arriving in April with their 5 best players healthy enough to survive 4 grueling rounds. That sounds simple enough, but it's also the exact plan Philadelphia has failed to execute year after year. So, where does that leave Philadelphia? Right at the very top of the Eastern Conference conversation. The Knicks are the reigning champions. They just swept Philadelphia on their way to winning the NBA Finals. Miami added Giannis to anchor the Heat alongside Bam Adebayo. Cleveland still has a highly talented core. Boston remains a serious threat, even after trading Brown. The East is far from weak, but no team in the conference can match Philly's combination of top-tier talent, size, scoring, and postseason experience. The Knicks are deeper and more proven as a cohesive group. Miami might boast the best two-way frontcourt. Cleveland might be younger, but Philadelphia can walk into any postseason matchup with four players who carry legitimate superstar resumes and a fifth starter on the verge of becoming one. That alters every single matchup. Who guards Maxey? Who matches Brown's physical strength? Who keeps LeBron out of the paint? Who handles Embiid one-on-one? Which defender gets hidden on Edgecombe? Most teams simply don't have enough answers. Philadelphia has the depth to force opponents to choose their poison. That is why their regular season record almost doesn't matter. The Sixers could finish second. They could finish fourth. They could spend the whole year resting key players and still become the opponent nobody wants to face come April. As long as they are healthy, that is the catch. Pinned to every positive prediction about this squad. So, where does all of this leave Philly? On paper, the 76ers might roll out the most talented starting five in basketball. Maxey brings pure speed. Brown provides a proven two-way playoff scorer. Edgecombe brings youth, raw athleticism, and defensive grit. Embiid remains one of the most devastating forces on earth when he is healthy. And now, LeBron gives them the one thing this franchise has lacked for years. Someone who can control the tempo when everything starts falling apart. That doesn't automatically crown them champions, though. Philadelphia has won the offseason before. They have built rosters that looked unbeatable on paper in the past. And nearly every single time, the season ended the same way. An injury, an offensive collapse, a star vanishing as the pressure mounted, yet another early playoff exit, followed by a long summer of questions. LeBron doesn't erase any of that, but he might give the Sixers their best chance to finally write a different ending. They don't need him to be the LeBron who averaged 30 points and carried an entire franchise on his back. They need the veteran who reads every defensive coverage before it even happens. The guy who gets Maxey running downhill, finds him in his sweet spots, keeps Brown involved, and settles everyone down when a postseason game starts getting chaotic. For most of his career, LeBron was the system. In Philly, he gets to be the piece that finally makes the machine run smoothly. And honestly, that might be the perfect final challenge. He brought titles to Miami, Cleveland, and Los Angeles. Now he is joining one of the most Philadelphia remains one of basketball's most tortured franchises, trying to finish a process that started over a decade ago. If it works, LeBron gets championship ring number 5, Embiid finally reaches the finals, and Maxey becomes the face of a champion. And Philadelphia wins its first NBA title since 1983. If things fall apart, the failure points are already glaringly obvious. The age, the injuries, the spacing, the heavy pressure. Yet, for the first time in years, Philadelphia cannot claim they lack the talent. The roster is ready. LeBron is in town. The championship window is wide open, and now they have to keep it from slamming shut. So drop your take in the comments below. Does LeBron really make the 76ers the top team in basketball? And more importantly, do you actually trust this roster to stay healthy enough to finish the job? Share your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoy deep basketball stories like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is Hoop Digger, and we will see you in the next video.